AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What does the month of June have in store for us when it comes to the weather? Here's John with our Agri-weather outlook.
June is finally here, and the first real heat wave of summer is beginning to start to show up. Looks like the first period or space of hotter than average weather consistently is going to be setting up over the Rocky Mountains, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute. Where the stormy pattern? Well, with that heat wave dome over the Rocky Mountains, that's going to put a lot of the northern plains, upper Midwest in what we call northwest flow. And that may bring a few storms, but maybe not consistent storms. I'll show you what I mean by that. And the dry weather will be under that dome of hottest air. Now, it's a fairly early heat wave. I don't expect anything to be truly exceptional. But what we've seen is some troughing here in the northern Rockies, and a fairly cool spring so far is about to be replaced by some warmer weather as we go through this week. Primary polar jet stream going basically west to east with a little bit of a twitch there in the middle of it. That's going to allow temperatures to be relatively warm into the northern plains, upper Midwest, and across the Corn Belt for much of this week. By warm, of course, this time of year we're talking 70s and 80s. Nothing unusually warm out of that. The hot weather, going to see a lot of 90s. That's going to be mostly down south. Then around the second half of the week, that's going to start getting pulled northward as this beginning of the heat wave dome begins to build up in the Rockies, and I'm talking about this area. Now, as I said, it's fairly early in the month of June here, so this is not going to be like 110 degrees in Utah or anything like that. It's just going to be warmer than average, but I think we're going to see some fairly rapid high-altitude snow melt in this pattern, and we're also going to see at least a narrow region of temperatures that get up to around 90 or into the 90s, getting up into the high plains, not necessarily the Great Plains in general. By the end of the week, that jet stream will be going pretty far north, but for much of the northern plains Corn Belt, it's still northwest flow. Northwest flow diving down into a warmer air mass can yield a few thunderstorms. So this first week, I think there will be a few rounds of strong thunderstorms in some parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. But as we go through the week, next week, now we're talking the second full week of June, starting to see a little bit of a trough of low pressure getting carved out of the northern Rockies. So we're not going to see this first wave of warm weather last too long, though in general, the western United States for the first half of June do look warmer than average. The only real consistently hot weather will be down south where it belongs. Weather pattern this week for precipitation, showers and thunderstorms, northern plains through the Great Lakes states and down into the southern plains, and a few showers in the Pacific Northwest. Rockies mostly dry. The second week still looking mostly dry in the Rockies. I think we'll dry things out. A few scattered storms in the northern plains, but not as many the second week of June as during the first.